how the heck did all this happen? So, yeah, it's a huge honor to be here. It's such a special week for me. It's always been an important week for our industry, period, to get the fans into town, into Nashville, living, experiencing Nashville. And I mean, I remember being that new artist, running around 24/7, you know, this whole week, doing everything I could to get to this point. And to be on the stage tonight as certainly the Entertainer of the Year, to have the opportunity to thank, you know, all of these fans that are the kind of the hardcore fans of country music, it's pretty it's amazing. And obviously the whole aspect of getting to close the show out is it's fun. Last year for some reason we had some time constraints or whatever, and I get off stage and I check all my socials and I'm like, some fans are like, why did you leave so soon? And then so I already checked some people, so I'm gonna run up some labor bills. I'm gonna run a little over tonight, but I got some people sweating now. Sorry, but yeah, we're gonna have fun out there tonight.
Hey, Luke. We've been talking to the different artists tonight about what has happened in Orlando, and then also the Christina Grimmie tragedy where she was shot at her meet and greet. And we're just curious because a lot of the media is kind of spinning it that these attacks are happening in places where people are going to be entertained, places where people like yourself make a living. What are your thoughts on what's going on and the fact that they are, in some ways, maybe making people scared to congregate in places like that?
Well, first of all, it's amazingly tragic on all levels, and it's totally, I mean, we all live the same thoughts on this. If you think like a true American does, and I'm sure we all do in this room and in other places, but when you hear these two instances this week, I think it's important for the American spirit to keep trying to live that type of life as an American. And it's so frustrating to me because I want to walk on stage and feel so free, and I want to deviate off the set path and go hug some fans and stuff like that. And it starts entering into our whole situation of how we live, and it's so unfortunate when you think about all these people in there tonight and what the city of Nashville probably has to go through to keep everybody safe. And the only way that I know that we'll ever combat it is just to keep going right after the problem and right after which is, I don't know if I have the time to do my whole soapbox on it, but I mean, I've got people that look after me, but we'll start ramping it up, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to, 10 years ago we didn't want to have to take our shoes off every time we try to get on an airplane, but now that's normalcy for us, and that's still frustrating for me. And I just hate that it just seems like we're heading down a path to where we can't just walk into a full stadium or a full amphitheater or a football game, baseball game, and it does change the game. But at the end of the day, you just have to, I don't know, I mean, we're all in the same game where we're all at a coffee shop. I mean, what's a coffee shop in 10 years? Are we going to not go to a coffee shop? I don't know. It's just up for our, I think it'll forever be up to our leaders and our people that we put in place to protect us, to use our taxpaying dollars to go straight after it and make us safe. And, it's so disheartening for me, and we so blessed in this business to meet so many soldiers and troops and law enforcement, and it makes life more stressful for them. I mean, with every turn of this stuff, their life gets more stressful. So we're all in this thing together too, and it's all for us to be a country to band together to try to fix it, in my opinion. So
Thank you so much.
Luke, one of your most important roles is as a father, and I'm wondering with Father's Day coming up, what would be the perfect gift for you, and how do you plan to spend that day?
Well, I'm doing a show, which is it's what it's all about. But the boys will be there as long as we're together as a family. And my wife is so great about. My wife is so great about like wanting to, like if it were up to her, like every moment like that would be fireworks and balloons filled, cakes and all that. But I'm like, baby, let's just have, So they're going to come up to our show, and then we've got a couple days together, just as long as I get to be with my family on important days, whether it's birthdays or anniversaries or stuff like that, or certainly Father's Day or Mother's Day. That's all I need. I don't just let them make me a cup of coffee in the morning, and I'm happy.
Going back to the Orlando shooting, I think as adults we're grappling with this, but the kids are really grappling with it. How do you as a parent handle that with your kids? Is there anything that you can say to them?
Well, with my kids, well, Teal, my nephew, lives with me. He's 14, and I haven't seen him today, and I'm sure that we'll talk. He and I, we find ourselves entering into adult land talk these days. But with my 8-year-old and my 6-year-old, I mean, my approach in life is let's huddle up and say our prayers in the evening, and let's be smart about how we live. But I still think the American spirit is about not living in fear and fighting that urge to live in fear, no matter how hard. This is our modern day world wars. So many of our grandparents, they lived their lives thinking that they were going to get a card in the mail and they were going to go to, and most of them did. And then you have all of these wars through history where, I know my parents did nuclear war drills. Well, our generation we have to think about, I'm sure my boys will sit me down and ask the questions, and it's up to me to pray that I have the right words at the right moment to ease their minds. But it is a tough, I was not a parent during 9/11. I was not a parent during 9/11, and now I'm a parent through things like this. So I know how I dealt with it before being a parent, and there's no handbook to this stuff, which is so frustrating. But I just stand behind. We can't live in fear and trust our plan and our what our Maker has in store for us.
Another question about the festival?
Hunting, fishing, loving every day is poised to be #1 in a couple of weeks, probably. Talk to me about that song, and when you have as many #1s as you have, do you get as excited about the next one, or what's your attitude?
I never take a #1. I never take the that fun feeling of a big hit. I always relish in that because it's never easy. I get crazy excited. We throw parties and we toast each other and we celebrate because it's a big deal for us. And then when you look at what Hunting, Fishing, Loving Every Day tells my fans, it's such a real song that pertains to my daily life, and I love it because at the end of the day, it's still got a pretty special little message too. It is about hunting and fishing, but then it is about what we've talked about. It is about getting out there and making the most out of life with people that you love, or even just having a day by yourself. And I'm so excited, a song like that, when you go to release it. I've had songs like that on previous albums that spoke that kind of country boy lingo stuff that we were a little hesitant to release to radio, but people are very passionate about it. But this song, we got to release it to radio, and it got to tell such a great story of who I am. It's kind of like what We Rode Trucks was for me, 10 years ago. Now it's like my moment to kind of have that song. And what's fun about it is it's just starting to really, really like when we kick into it on the road. It's like, woo, people freak out, and that's what's addicting about this stuff. So yeah, we're loving having it out.
Last question, Becca.
I just wanted to talk to you. We've had several legendary groups come back here, like Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Exile, who've been around for 50 plus years. And we've talked about the explosion of country music, the fact that we've got 4 sold-out nights in a stadium. And it used to be that we would credit Taylor Swift with bringing all these people to country. But now you and Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, you all are the ones that are taking the credit, and should, for broadening the scope of country music to the whole world and being able to fill up all these stadiums. And can you just sort of talk about the fact that you are one of the major faces? I mean, if there was sort of a Mount Rushmore of modern country right now, you would be one of those faces that is helping to spread the worldwide message of country.
Well, thank you for putting it that way. That's pretty, it's, with me, sorry, I don't know if y'all are recording, but that thing's loud. But yeah, it's amazing, and it's. I woke up and here we are with this, and my main focus is to be a positive influence for country. People have asked me what do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want this and that, and I've never really had to think about that kind of stuff. But I mean, I guess, I just kind of want to be the guy that hopefully always lit up the room, and people always just wanted to come have some fun with and get away from everything that is dragging them down in life. And when you name guys like Urban, and when you name the I think country music's we have such a special thing that will continue to grow because fans, will we get a little risky out there a little bit? Yeah, we will. Will we try some new things? But at the core of it all, I think the fans can really feel that they're good people. They're good artists. These artists are genuinely good people. And the parents can roll up to a Luke Bryan show and let their kids out probably, and not worry about their safety because they feel like that, our concerts are going to be safe, and it's not going to be. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of got I get beat up a little bit because I'm up there shaking and doing all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think that people know that there's a side of me that's I'm up there just having fun, and I think and when you talk about Blake kind of brings the same type of I think that's what sets country music apart. When you think about like your heroes of the past, like your Dolly Partons and your Revas, it's like when you meet these people, they're just what you dreamed they would be. They're like, and so I think at the end of I hope I'm totally rambling, but I think that's the difference in country. It's like people are always, I think we have to hold on to the fact that people are going to gravitate to that feel-good feeling that country music brings. And then, and through all that, the music goes heartwarming music, fun music, music about life, music about going to the lake, music about, you can sit on the beach and listen to it, and music about a big old honky-tonk party, and that's what the whole scope of it is to me. So I hope that was good. Sorry.